Okay guys, I'm back for another cast on this Sorcerer. So, let me get in. Let's see, multiplayer, local area network, and my mage here. And for the first time I'm gonna go Hell. If you saw the last video, where I, by the way, had 267 million experience, as you can see here, or to be exact, 267 million and 28,890 experience. I'm still level 42. That was the stats from last, where I found this beautiful maze, also called Dream Flinch, by the way. The last run was my 50th nightmare run, and I wanted to... sorry about that, had a toad in my throat. And I sort of decided after my 50th run that it's time to finally go on with the Hell difficulty. So it's not like I'm going straight to Hell as I usually did on Nightmare. On the contrary, actually, I'm such a completionist, so I'd like to do a full run. So normally for the last 50 runs I've been going down there to Hell, but as this is Hell difficulty, I'm gonna slowly sort of upscale. So I'm starting up just as you do as level 1 in Cathedral, and to be honest, I don't think I'm gonna get any experience for the first few levels. So you could say, why do it? But again, I'm just such a completionist that I'd like to be able to say to myself, well, I did it all, I didn't skip anything. So that's the plan. Yeah, the mobs, naturally, they're gonna hurt a little more. We can do a little test. Maybe not here on level 1, but I can imagine later on. And I have my usual setup. You might saw that when I set up the hotkeys. So I got 4 hotkeys, and it's Fireball, Chain Lightning, Stone Curse, and Teleport. And I'm probably only gonna need, unless there's some kind of boss. Let's see if we get any experience. Get none. 0. And that's just fine. Like I said, it's for completion. There are a couple of things that could be interesting, especially sort of boss kills. Because, believe it or not, but here on the lower level, even if it just was just normal or Nightmare difficulty, there would be a couple of interesting shrines, and one of them is actually the Enchanted Shrine, as far as I recall. I wasn't quite ready for this, but I'm just gonna find it here. The Enchanted Shrine. Yeah, it will give +1 to all learned spell, and then -1 to 1 random spell. So for especially the 2 other classes than Sorcerer, and for those characters, meaning Rogue and Warrior, this shrine, Enchanted Shrine, is amazing. It's quite rare and it's rather typical. I find it as the first one here. I don't need it because I can easily, well, fairly easy as a mage, because my maximum is 250 in magic. I can sort of easily get my spells up to max, and I have that, as you can see. 17 is normally spell level 15 is max, but I can get it to 17 due to my items. I got +1 spell level here from Dream Flinch, and then I got 1 extra spell level from Nice Light Plate, and that's why I got 17 as my maximum spell level. And as you can see, I've capped them all. So there's no reason for me to take this Enchanted Shrine. All it will give me is the negative effect, -1 to a random spell. But that's one thing. There's another shrine. We can take it when we get there. These 2 shrines are the only ones that could be of any interest to me. Whereas one of them, the Enchanted Shrine, is actually not of interest. But what I was about to say before I saw the shrine was that there's usually a couple of bosses, sort of small bosses, besides the sort of regular bosses like the Butcher on level 2 and King Leoric on level 3. And these have sort of increased chance to drop sort of better quality loot, like for instance uniques. And it happens to be that one of the uniques is, for caster at least, is a headpiece, a skull cap. Sorry, with the, I think it's +2 actually to spell levels. The downside of it is that it has only 1 durability, and you could ask the good question and then say, why on earth would you run around with an item that can break at any moment due to having only 1 durability? And the reason is that it's actually possible to increase the durability of the item, and that's also from a shrine. I think, yeah, it's called a hidden shrine. So there are 2 shrines that are normally interesting pretty much for all classes, except that I'm fully maxed out the spell level, so Enchanted Shrine is not interesting for me. But a hidden shrine would be. What it does, it will increase the durability, not of your rings and not of your amulet, they don't have any durability, but any item with durability. You can see this Dreamflinch has 32 durability, Nice Light Plate has 75, my shield has 50, and my helm has 30 durability. These items, 3 of them will gain 10 durability, and then the last item, which is random, it's, as I recall, most often the shield will get a reduction of -10 durability. But it's not always, it's just, I suppose it's random with a slight overweight in the shield getting sort of devalued with 10 durability. But overall, you can have your... if you're lucky enough to find the skull cap, also I think it's called thinking cap. If you are lucky enough to find it, then there is, like I said, actually a chance that you can increase its durability. But you can see, even though these mobs are sort of fairly lowly level to me, they're still able to hit me. Another thing is there's a cap here that I think that I've actually very rarely found actually a unique item just lying on the floor as well. But that is exceptionally rare. But the reason why it's interesting to sort of do these sort of low levels is that due to the sort of mini bosses especially, some of the other mobs can drop that headpiece, the so-called, well, it's a skull cap as a basic item, but the unique version is called thinking cap. And skull caps, I think they just have an it's sort of a low tier helmet, so it has a increased chance of dropping here on the sort of low tier levels, like say level 1 to 4, or maybe even 1 to 8. It's probably not gonna drop right now, but I have had it drop before, even on, say, when I was a level, level, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 character, something like that. What shows, by the way, that this is hell difficulty is that actually drops the full plate here on level 1. It's guaranteed crap almost, because the mobs here, they can only sort of apply really crappy, like say +1 vitality stats like that. But I'm just gonna pick it up just to prove my point when I get up to town. That it's guaranteed crappy stats, even though the basic item is something that would never normally drop here on a low level like this. Another thing I'd like to try, if I remember it before I completely slaughter all these guys, is let one of the mobs hit me. I think there's one here. Let's see how much damage he does. So I got 955 mana at the moment. And you can see this guy is actually doing 12 damage to me. That's more than some of the mobs would do on Nightmare in the Hell area. I do block a lot of his attacks though. Just gonna see if when he actually hits me again, if he's gonna give me another 12 damage. Yeah, he did. So 12 damage for this sort of lonely skeleton here, which is not especially high sort of skeleton mob. this guy is higher level. He's a skeleton captain. Let's see how much he can do. I'm just gonna fill up my mana again. So 955. And he actually did like, I don't know, 20 damage, something like that. Not too bad for a low beam mob like that. So let's see. I pretty much cleared the full map. It's a little bit down here. By the stairs down to level 2. Yeah, but I am the sorcerer is a glass cannon. I built him like that, and my aim is simply not to get hit, really. And I'm usually further down. I'll be in big trouble as soon as I got two or more mobs hitting on me. So, like I stated back when I started, then I'm gonna sort of preserve my ability to simply press escape and new game. Then I can get out of a tight spot. That's how hardcore I play it. It's pretty much like World of Warcraft. You have a chance to log out there as well, even if you, in hardcore mode. And that's where I sort of got the idea here to play this like hardcore style, you could say. But even in World of Warcraft Classic, as I played before this game, there was an option sort of to get out. You could, there was various sort of tricks and treats, but they were sort of all legal. You could say drink a potion of petrification, and you could then sort of, I think, tap out all the 4. I never tried it really, but that was sort of some would say that it was an illegal method, but it's not. Blizzard are well aware of it. They did nothing to fix it, so it was part of the game. The mats for the potion were quite insane though, but that's another matter. So I'm actually getting experience now. Look up here. Just gonna hurt a bunch. There we go. So what I can hope for here is some of the sub-bosses, and if I'm really lucky, one of them will drop the sort of cap. Skull cap. I'll be fine with the helmet that I got at the moment, of course, but yeah, it's always fun to sort of hunt for the best in slot. So I think we got a mini boss here. This guy, what's called Bonehead. Interesting name. And he actually, that dropped a cap, but it's not the right one. Just gonna pick it up for the fun of it. And to be honest, with my current armor class of 83, I don't feel like sort of going toe to toe with the butcher, who's always here somewhere. He's gonna get the mage treatment and that stone curse, and then I'm gonna just fireball his behind. So yeah, I'm sorry to ruin your expectations if you had an idea of me sort of making some kind of epic fight with him. It's not gonna be like that. And it's simply because there's no reason for me to take the chance. He will probably kick my butt if he managed to get up close and start sort of hitting at me. It will feel pretty much like being a level 5 or 6 warrior or something like that. Into my low armor class, and it's no fun for warrior either to go toe to toe with butcher. Normally, straight away when you find his sort of lair. I think talking about butcher's lair, I think sort of found it, and I think I'm just gonna do him last. another mini boss here, and this guy dropped the Book of Healing. Sort of classic drop
Where
for
would I put this?
this level, you could say. Also, a good thing if you haven't sort of maxed out all your spells yet, even the low spells like healing is a useful spell for warrior as well as rogue. Then there's a golden opportunity here to do something about it, and yeah, pick up all of these sort of low-level books. But as you can see, it's low-level spell books. It's a lot of gold, and it's items that not usually like a full plate that will drop on this level, but the stats are completely the same as if I was doing level 2 on normal difficulty. So it's gonna be other crappy stats. And I dropped a ring, it's right here, just for the fun. I'm gonna pick it up as well. There we go. So, let's see. Did I clear it all? Yes, I did. Alrighty, so time for Butcher.
Fresh meat. The spirits of the dead are now avenged.
Yeah, no big deal. Thank you. Alright, and we are going down to level 3 and the Auric. And by the way, just because I give myself the option to escape new games, sometimes you'll take so much damage so fast that you won't even be able to react. There is sort of the human factor as well of simply being overwhelmed and shocked and panicking when you're taking so much damage. That will kill you by... For instance, there are mobs, I've probably talked a lot about them in normal and nightmare difficulty, but there are mobs that so-called hidden. They can surround you like in no time, and that's why I'm doing a little test shooting like there. They're usually, I think they can be around from level 2 or something like that. And they can sort of increase in tier as well. And they can, due to them being hidden, they naturally will have the ability to sort of sneak up on you. Their damage may not be insane. Well, it is here on Hell mode, to be honest. But especially for a glass cannon like this one with low armor class. But it's more like their ability to constantly hitting you, so I'm not able to cast any spells. And no spells meaning no damage, meaning that I'm getting a beating, taking a beating. And I'm not able to use any of my defensive spells as well, like say my teleport spell. So I'm pretty screwed.
Where would I put this?
Let's identify the plate armor, and like I told you, it'll be a crappy stat. Very odd stat. Actually, it's even worse. It's a rusted plate. It's actually sort of a negative ability, and they drop especially sort of in the beginning of the game. Very rarely sort of at the last 4 levels, or I've seen it sometimes even on caves. So we are talking Cathedral, where I am now, the first 4 levels. The next 4 is Catacombs, and items like this will come around there as well sometime. I mean with sort of directly bad stats really. But I don't recall finding sort of these awful stats on like the last 4 levels in Hell, and very rarely in caves, meaning that's level, say, I think it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, exactly. So it's like the higher you get up, the less chance to find items with sort of, yeah, actually stats that will almost make your character worse than you are if you're not wearing them. You can find, say, an item with, say, one of really terrible stats, say -9 to all stats or something like that. That could actually kill you, I suppose, if you have low hit points, very close to 0, and you equip one, then it'll actually drain you from the last hit points. But yeah, this looks super easy because I have a maxed out chain lightning here, and it's just tearing these poor low-level mobs apart here. For other classes it might not be that easy to begin with here. But yeah, all classes have their advantages and their sort of disadvantages. Just like everything here in life. Everything has a sort of upsides and downsides usually. Oh, mana pot, yes please. So, by the way, Leoric, always here on level 3. He's, there he is, talking about the devil. Okay, he didn't last long though.
Leoric.
Battle axe, yeah, let's
your son.
Got no room for it now. But he always comes with a lot of skellies, as you can see here. And it's quite obvious that the grey skeletons, they have some kind of resist to my lightning spells. They seem to be able to take 2 full chain lightnings. The whites here, they don't have any resist, I think. And the reds, I can imagine, I think they are resistant to fire, that'd be my guess. I was looking for a chest there. I'm just trying to pretty much pick up everything I can get to. Coffins, name it. So even though I'm very overpowered here at the moment, I'm not just sort of standing still and taking a beating. I'm moving in order to avoid any hits, if I'm able to. And that's why, and I can't sort of stress that enough, I feel like trying this out. Watch out with, you know, teleporting around too much, especially in areas that you haven't explored already. You risk sort of teleporting right into a pack of mobs, and you can, even with my pretty decent mana pool here of 955, you can almost get one-shotted if you teleport into too many mobs. Due to being, yeah, chain stun, really. You won't be able to get a spell off before you're dead, really. Yeah. So, I think that was it, guys. Everything seems explored here. And that's why I'm teleporting around here. So, mana shield, here we go. And level 4. Which is the last level of the Cathedral. And yeah, sure, I could go Fireball here as well. That would work out wonders as well, I'm sure. Chain Lightning's just lazy, because it just kills a ton of mobs that I don't even sort of see before they're dead. I think we looked like a boss because there came that many mobs at the same time. Maybe not. because if there was a boss, then there would usually be like sort of a lightning field, like my light radius here, just in a smaller format, you could say. And some bros. Downside of chain lighting is that it's not working properly when there's a ton of mobs around you. It looks like it's not really going anywhere, but it's actually because it's trying to hit a lot of mobs sort of all over. And that's why you want... Oh, there's actually a boss here. Okay, he's immune to fire, not to lightning though. Just gonna pick up his item just for the fun of it. Again, it's most likely complete crap stats. Oh, it is for sure. At least compared to what I'm wearing. Even though this is hell, it's low level hell, the lowest sort of cathedral here, so don't expect too much. Like I said, all you can sort of be lucky with here is the first 4 levels here are the shrines, and like the enchanted shrine and the hidden shrine, and some uniques that could be useful. They will most likely drop from some kind of bosses here, but as you, this was a normal helm, but you can see these sort of low tier helm, like this helm and the cap, and I haven't seen a skull cap drop yet, but this is sort of the habitat, say, for skull caps. It will be a very typical drop at this level 4 here. Just doing a little test shooting here. Also, I can see that I dropped a ring, by the way. Test shooting is good if there should be any hidden mobs. If there were, I would have seen them by now, I think so. But I can also see that some of the lightnings went down and some went up. I can try again. So it seems to be mobs down south and a few up there. It's not sort of... Oh, the ring is down. Oh, the amulet. I'm just going to pick it up. There you go. But it gives you a good idea when you're just sort of test shooting. You can also see that the thickness of the lightnings, if there's a lot of mobs sort of south of me, then there'll be a thick layer of lightning. Now no lightnings are going down, so there's probably no mobs down here. I mean, I probably killed them all. Looks like it. And that's why I think chain lightning is exceptionally good, for instance in caves. No, not true, in catacombs, the next 4 levels. It's sort of closed hallways, but gives you... It gives you a good idea of where the mobs are compared to your own position. And it also don't sort of aggro too many mobs, because there's a lot of closed doors, etc. And the lightnings won't go through those. So it's pretty risk-free, you could say, to use chain lightning there. And as you can see now, all the mobs are sort of above me, and it looks like even there's none in there. There are some lightning trying to get through the wall here, which it cannot. One of the downsides of the chain lightning is it's sort of in open rooms like this. If you hear a ring drop, it can be really hard to find it. Because you're killing mobs like from where you didn't even know that there were mobs around, you could say. These sort of small flying guys, blinks or something like that, they seem to be resistant to lightning. They took a lot of damage before they went down. Or at least they took a lot of lightning. But if they're resistant to lightning, they can sort of, yeah, endure some more. So let's see, there was a spiritual shrine, it's most likely crap. Nothing of interest, that's for sure. And yeah, it's not a shrine I'm gonna take. Like I said, I'm only pretty much interested due to my spells being capped. I'm only interested in hidden shrines, and they are very rare from what I recall. As they are hidden shrines, are the shrines that will increase my durability on any items that I'm wearing, as I recall it. But I should probably test it if I actually sort of find a hidden shrine. I don't think it will increase or decrease items that are in your inventory. It's only items that are equipped, not in the inventory. So I think, guys, this was level 4. And it seems to be fully cleared. I'm sort of following the walls that they aren't broken. And they aren't. They are all sort of, you can see the full lines here. So that means I've explored it. Just gonna go down to level 5. So you can see where I come up. It's a tainted shrine. It's pretty much crap, I'm sure. Most shrines are. And some are actually kind of destructive. But that was 4 levels, guys. That's probably all I'm gonna do. And then in the next episode, I'm gonna take the catacombs. But let's
Hello,
see
my
what we
friend.
actually found.
Stay a while and listen.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent find if you had been level 1. But like I said, the stats on the items are completely like if you've were level 1 and doing Cathedral, you would be able to find a sword like this, which would have been very nice if I was, say, level 7 or 8 or something like that. Ring, 2 to strength, classic find, but it would be a nice ring for any warrior that are like level 6 to 8 or something like that. Battle axe, very nice, dropped from, I think, one of the bosses, Diablo. No, sorry, not Diablo, but maybe, I think it was Leoric, actually, maybe. And an axe with fast attack, that's pretty cool. Good luck getting 65 strength if you had been like level 10. That would be probably uphill. Cap, very nice as well. 2 to all attributes would have been cool if you're a low level character. Classic here, 20% light radius. It's kind of a crappy item because that means you'll get aggro before you normally would. And then finally the club here. Resist all 10% plus 40% light radius. Actually very terrible item because it's just an aggro magnet really. So I'm just gonna sell this stuff. Repair.
Well, what can I do for you?
And I did take a little bit of damage, not a lot. And let's, for the fun of it, I could see if the blacksmith has anything interesting. He don't. So, I think that's about it. I don't need all this money. One stack of 5,000 gold would be plenty. And I'm just gonna go up to the witch and sort of replenish my item, my inventory to full with mana potions. Experience-wise, I think I was very close to 267 million. I might had a little bit like, I don't know, 20,000, something like that, besides the 267 million. So I got around 500,000 experience for clearing the first 4 level, even as a level 42. So the experience will come in now, and naturally the sort of
I sense a soul in search
level
of
will
answers.
rise. Believe it or not, even in the next section, I'm gonna be careful. Like I said, it can go insanely fast with taking damage if it gets surrounded, especially as a glass cannon here. So without further ado, guys, and thank you very much for watching the video if you did. See you in the next one, I hope. Take care. Bye-bye.